Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Monday. This is Game Day Live. Coming to you live from the Primetime Radio studios here in beautiful New Jersey in the bunker. Flying solo today. Vinny Parisi doing Major League Baseball, covering the Chicago White Sox today, so I'll be going solo with you for the Devils' first preseason game. Devils take on the Montreal Canadiens in Montreal, 7 p.m. Eastern start. Welcome. I'm your host, Sam Wu. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network. Let's go. We've been waiting for this moment for a while now. Devils getting their season underway, well, at least preseason, heading up to Montreal, playing the Canadiens, and there are a lot of players I'd like to see. New faces coming in with the red, white, and black. Jack Hughes is definitely going to be fast, but he's going to be, would he be with Andres Palat? John Marino making some waves during the scrimmages, during training camp, showing the speed. Ryan Novozinski, good friend of the podcast of NJ.com, saying that he can keep up with Jack Hughes. Wow. Jack Hughes definitely comes with a lot of speed. And apparently Jack Hughes is a little bit faster than last season. I like to see that speed. I like to see the elite speed of Jack Hughes. Nico Hischier back. Dougie Hamilton back. Miles Wood back. Miles Wood on a contract year, looking to prove himself. And the Devils have a little bit of grit, a little bit of depth, spending all the way to the cap. We've talked about that quite a bit on the Let's Go Devils podcast. Depth, Eric Holla via trade for Pavel Zacha. Did anybody see the video that I think Ryan Novozinski put up of him and Jack Hughes, Eric Holla and Jack Hughes doing face-off practices, and Holla was just winning every single one of them? That's what I like to see. Third line center. Because the third line was, well, for all intents and purposes, the third line was a bit inconsistent last season. And now, with all the hype, with all the Goudreau sweepstakes and missing out, and Matthew Tkachuk, which the Devils really never had a chance to begin with, now we get to finally see, okay, what this team looks like. They look good on paper, but the one guy that may make the team, his name is Alexander Holtz, making an impression at training camp. So far, so good. Did very well in the Prospect Challenge. Devils going to play the Montreal Canadiens. Going to look at the roster real quick. We'll talk about that a little bit later about, who would be playing tomorrow. Obviously, the Devils are going to be playing again at Prudential Center in front of the home crowd. Just a little bit of news, if you haven't heard, our upcoming appearances. Opening night, when the Devils take on the Philadelphia Flyers in Philly at Wells Fargo Center. Opening night, October 13th, Thursday, October 13th at 6 p.m. Eastern, we will be at Chickies and Pete's Restaurant at 1526 Packer Avenue, South Philly, Philadelphia, for Game Day Live and Devils After Dark. We'll be doing the podcast from the catwalk. If you're a Devils fan or Flyers fan, if you want, you can come visit us. Come see the podcast. Vinny Parisi will be streamed in from Chicago. We're not sure if Nick Villano will make it or not. His schedule is very busy. I mean, heck, he's just buying a house right now. As well, I guess Nick Villano picked a heck of a time to move out of Tampa, but that's another story for another day. But yeah, so we'll be at Chickies and Pete's for opening night, opening for the season. And also October 15th, as you may have heard, as we announced yesterday on the Let's Go Devils podcast Sunday edition, Game Day Live and Devils After Dark, our new official home bar for game days, will be at American Whiskey on 51 Edison Place, across the street from Prudential Center, right next to Championship Plaza, in the heart of Newark, New Jersey. Come visit us there. We have a lot in store for you this season. Game Day Live, Devils After Dark. We will have Devils After Dark after the game. Lots of sports going on in New Jersey. I mean, I know that the Giants have their whiteout game. It's going to be tricky watching the Giants game because I'm a Giants fan, watching the Devils game because I'm a Devils fan. And also, before I forget, happy Rosh Hashanah to those that celebrate. Big day today. All right, so let's Big Steve Engel says, can you guys go to places where it's less ghetto? Hey, these are nice establishments. Chickies and Pete's, the South Philly location, is a 30,000 square foot sports bar. It's like the mecca of sports bars. It is an awesome place. They even have a gaming. They actually have 10,000 square feet of gaming. If you're a gamer playing video games as well, it's actually a really good place. Stephen Engel says, I'm in Monmouth County. You feel me? LOL. Hey, I'm from Morris County, so I don't know what that means. Anyway, but also American Whiskey as well. The fine folks there, Frank the Tank, the owner, and Mariah, the manager, have open arms meeting us there. John says, woo, let's go, baby. Yes, John. Nate Milbank on the Facebook Live says, I just want to see Nikita Ahoy. Okay, he wants me to pronounce it. I'm going to say it, Ahoyuk, whatever, Ahoychuk, whatever his name is, destroy some people tonight. Absolutely. Also, he wanted to give a shout out to the E-Bug, Kyle Shapiro, who's assistant coach to the reigning NAHL champions, New Jersey Titans. But yeah, so Devils take on the Canadiens. Wow. Remember the headlines during the draft. Who will the Canadiens draft? And it was between New Jersey and Montreal because there wasn't really a consensus pick, but there was all the hype. We talked about Shane Wright, Logan Cooley, Slavkovsky. But it all went crazy after Montreal picked Slavkovsky. Devils, in a kind of a stunner, picking Simon Nemec, second overall pick, defenseman, which I think it was a wise pick. Then, of course, the Arizona Coyotes pick Logan Cooley, and the Seattle Kraken, they draft Shane Wright. It'll be about 5 to 7 years before we can really understand who really won in this draft. But you never know. You never know. Sometimes these later picks turn out to be the best players. Sometimes it works out that way. And it's going to be an exciting time, folks. It's going to be an exciting time for New Jersey Devils fans because, look, the young kids are getting better. Lindy Ruff is armed with his coaches now. Andrew Burnett, Ryan McGill, Sergey Brelin. You can't forget, this is a pretty good coaching staff right now. And you're hearing the right things from the players. I know. You hear the press conferences, the interviews. It's a little cliche, a lot of cliches. But they are saying the right things. Actions speak louder than words. Reading some of the tweets that Amanda Stein, Ryan Novozinski, Mike Morale of NHL.com, what they're tweeting out, Dan Rice, what they're seeing in these scrimmages, in these practices. You're seeing a lot of communication. You're seeing a lot of communication. A lot of the veteran players taking some of the leadership, specifically Palat, Howla, and that's what this young Devils team needs. They're young. They're still very young, but now there's a mixture of veterans presence, a mixture of championship experience, really just Palat showing the way. That's why the Devils overpaid for Palat. Because that kind of experience, knowing how to win, the habits, that's more valuable than any kind of analytics or any kind of salary captologist would ever tell you. And it's true. Lead by example. Eventually, the young kids will pick it up. And that's what we're hoping for. That's what we're hoping for the New Jersey Devils. Tomas Tatar, Andreas Johnson on contract years. Same with Miles Wood. How are they going to perform? How are they going to perform? Will they be shipped out before trade deadline or earlier than that? I don't know. Goalie situation. Vitek Vanacek, Mackenzie Blackwood, Mac Black. Who do you want to see starting net? Who do you have confidence in? I think the most important thing, regardless, is the goaltending. The goaltenders specifically must stay healthy in order to be consistent. And that's going to be huge. Absolutely huge. But Mackenzie Blackwood, again, saying the right things, saying that he's feeling really good right now. And he's 110%. Whatever that means. No more excuses, Mac Black. It's your time to shine. But just be aware, Vitek Vanacek is looking for that spot, same spot as well. And that's going to be very, very interesting. Who really wins out, or will there be a winner? Will it be a tandem? Defensively, Dougie Hamilton doesn't have the jaw guard like he did last season. As you're watching the practices, the scrimmages, hopefully he is over that. Can you blame him for having some, post-traumatic stress disorder from that? I would. Taking the puck to the jaw, having to sit through a cup surgery, all that kind of stuff, and then having to come back in the same season. Hopefully Dougie Hamilton has fully recovered and he can be the Dougie Hamilton before the injury. Ryan Graves, again, another contract on a contract year. Big guy. Will the Twin Towers be a pairing? Will they rule the blue line? Damon Severson, so far they haven't talked a contract extension. He's on a contract year, something to prove. He wants to stay. But with the amount of defensemen in the pipeline and the ones coming up like Riley Walsh, Nikita Hoyuk, Simon Nemitz, waiting in the wings in the future, Luke Hughes, Seamus Casey, Ethan Edwards. A lot of great defensemen. Kevin Ball is looking to make the team. We talked about Kevin Ball yesterday. We were joking around a little bit that he's pretty tough guy. Less is more with his words. Defense is stacked. Siegenthaler saying that he took less money to be part of something big. And that's a good sign because it means he's all in and he's bought in to what the Devils are doing. He wants to win. And that's the kind of players that you want on this team. Character players like Siegenthaler. Brendan Smith is going to try, practice hard, work hard to crack that lineup. The competition is good on the blue line for a limited amount of space. The Devils, the forwards, the top six is going to be pretty exciting. It's going to be pretty exciting if Jack Hughes and Nico Hischier stay healthy all 82 games. I mean, their motor can run down the middle. It's going to put the opposing defense on their heels, of their skates. But speed kills. Speed kills. And what's also going to be important as well is how well the Devils play in the neutral zone, both offensively and defensively. The Devils are a really deadly team when they can cause a turnover in the neutral zone. The amount of speed that these forwards have and skill level, before you know it, the transition is back up into the fun zone for the New Jersey Devils. And the sweet spot is that left circle when Jack Hughes shoots from there. Deadly. Alexander Holtz, deadly. And that's what we're hoping for. Offensively. Defensively, Devils have to, well, at least on special teams, let's hopefully Ryan McGill can get them playing well defensively. Because defense wins championships. It wasn't all goaltending, in my opinion, last season. It was a good part of it, but you still have to do your defensive assignments and not leave players uncontested in front of your goaltender. You have to protect your goaltender. You got to use that size and reach. Kevin Ball, Dougie Hamilton, Ryan Graves, they've got the size and reach to be disruptive in those passing lanes. And let's hope that there's no fun going in the no fun zone this upcoming season. Lots of things to talk about today. Just, it's great that Devils hockey has finally started after this offseason. And of course, Game Day Live. We're going to be live. Again, October 13th in Philadelphia, in enemy territory at Chickies and Pete's restaurant, 1526 Packer Avenue in Philadelphia, South Philly, right near the Wells Fargo Center. And obviously, opening night at Prudential Center, October 15th, at American Whiskey, 51 Edison Place. That's where the Let's Go Devils podcast is going to be for this season. All right, so how are you going to watch this game? There's several ways you can watch this game. All right, if you're in Canada, TSN or the French version, is it RDN? I think that's the acronym, the French version. You can watch it there. Canadian feed. If you're an ESPN Plus customer out of market, you would be able to watch the game, apparently. But even better, you can go to, if you're a Devils fan, NewJerseyDevils.com/app. APP. You go there, whether you have an Android device, whether you have an iOS device, you download the New Jersey Devils and Prudential Center app, which I did this morning. You download it, you fill out some information, you can watch the game at least on your iPad, tablet, phone, whatever you want to call it. You can watch the game that way. And I believe it's free. I believe this is a courtesy by yours truly, New Jersey Devils. You can also listen to the game on the Devils Hockey Network. Two great friends of the podcast, Matt Lachlan and Chico Resch, will be calling the game. Sometimes I do that when I'm multitasking and I can't keep my eyes on the TV, but I got to get things done. Bluetooth it into your headset. Listen to Matt and Chico. Again, great friends of the podcast. They always have some insightful, meaningful analysis as well. Also, when you're watching the game on NewJerseyDevils.com/the app or app, that you will get some great Devils content. And I say that sincerely. And then afterwards, after the game, Devils After Dark, Scotty of SiriusXM, Liquid Metal, and I will recap the game that was. But I know a lot of you are going to be multitasking. You've got your phone, your tablet, your iPad on one side, and then you got your TV of the Giants game, Monday Night Football, on another, and it's just going to be a heck of a sports night tonight, and it's a happy Devils Monday. Wow. Hockey's back. It's September. The schedules have aligned back to normal now. The last couple of years, it's been very different. There's been all sorts of issues with the pandemic and all that, but it seems like that's all behind us. All behind us. And we're going to be doing this all season long. Now let's get to predictions. We've got another announcement, unofficial announcement, because we're not officially announcing it because Vinny Parisi's not here, but you know what? We're going to announce this. That you can challenge the Woo, which is me, or Vinny Parisi, on these predictions. If you're 21 and older, if it's legal in your jurisdiction, you can bet against us. Why? Well, when we're doing predictions this upcoming season, starting on October 13th, there'll be bets legally because Game Day Live and Devils After Dark has a new sponsor. They're called Bet Stamp. Bet Stamp. And we'll give you our bet stamp of approval. Bet Stamp is like the Trivago of sports betting, where you want to bet on the game, it will give you a list of sports books that you can bet on the same bet and see which one has the better payout, and you can place your bet. It's pretty cool, and they're going to be partnering up with us this season, Bet Stamp, as we give our predictions of the Devils games every Game Day Live, and we'll be doing that. We're going to be doing that as well online, and we're going to see like how good you guys are predicting the score. All right. Well, I think the Devils and Canadiens both went 1-2 in the draft. Looking very exciting. At Slavkovsky, you've got the whole Nemitz thing. You've got Alexander Holtz. You've got a lot of young players to see who's going to make the team. My predictions, it's going to be a high-scoring game. Decent goaltending, but a little rusty. A high-scoring game. I'm calling 6-3 New Jersey Devils tonight over the Montreal Canadiens at the Bell Center. For all those Devils fans attending, you got to go to a couple places outside Hurley's Irish Pub on Crescent Street, one of my favorite places in Montreal. Try the poutine. Poutine is amazing. This is what we do on this podcast. We talk a lot about food. One thing about Chickies and Pete's, they've got crab fries. What is it? You got to come over and find out. Lobster tails are great. Mussels are great. If you like seafood and you seafood and eat it, Chickies and Pete's is for you. Also, American whiskey, they stock Taylor ham on their burgers. We all love Taylor ham in New Jersey. You know it. I know it. Mets fan 1571. Let's go Devils. Yes, let's go Devils. LFGM to you. Mets fan 1571. I see NY Davies chiming in. Oh, my goodness. The inventor of beefalytics. We're going to come out with some beefalytics on this podcast as well, since Vinny Parisi and I, we're just, look at us. Look at us. It's obvious we like to eat. We'll be talking a lot about beef, both on and off the ice. Joseph says that Devils app is nice. Yes, it is nice. I went through that app, and you know how critical I am of the New Jersey Devils? Meow, meow. It is a pretty nice, well-organized app for all your Devils need. And I'm not being endorsed by the New Jersey Devils, so guess what? It means it's true. That's my endorsement. It looks really good. Please, I hope the stream does not fail me, but I have full confidence in Chris Westcott and the New Jersey Devils that they've got it right. Catherine Bogart is going to be in studio at Prudential Center. Amanda Stein, obviously, is in Montreal. And Sam Kassan has been ripping it up on NHL.com and NewJerseyDevils.com, where to find stuff and who's playing and all that kind of stuff. Devils are doing a very, very good job right now of that, and that's good. The only complaint I have is we need harder questions in the locker room. But yes, that Devils app is nice. Also wanted social media hop into Facebook Live. David Decker, I know, is excited about our appearances from here on out at American Whiskey. Yes, that David Decker of Town Toyota in Ledgewood off of Route 46, where, hey, if there's a Toyota shortage in the United States, only David Decker will find you a Toyota and at a great deal, and they're not going to rip you off. And it's not that bad over MSRP. I know from experience. I know Beer Baron wants to get a Toyota. Shorts guy got a Toyota at David Decker's. I think Rob Klobosis of Devil's Diehards also, I believe, got his wife a Toyota from David Decker as well. Plus Betty as well. Hardline Betty. She got her Toyota at David Decker's. Town Toyota, Route 46, next to one of my favorite restaurants, Muldoon's. Yes. I like to eat, can you tell? And also, I think there's Dairy Maid as well. Cliff's, I think, as well. I think it's around there. All right. Enough of that. Enough about food. I'm getting hungry right now. Lots of action tonight. You've got the Giants game on, obviously. The Devils on the Devils app. You can also stream it on the NHL app, Devils Hockey Network. If you're in the car, 10-2 on the wheel. Drive safely, folks. Dropping the podcast in about 20 minutes. Just stick with us for Devils After Dark after the game. Scotty from SiriusXM Liquid Metal will be beaming into the Primetime Radio studios via the internet from his Beverly Hills estates. Palatial is what he wants to, say. Anyway, thank you, folks. Thank you, folks. Just remember, it is our 5-year anniversary. 5 years. 5 years of this podcast when we took the maiden voyage in mid-October of 2017 and never looked back. We can't thank you enough for watching, listening in, talking to us. It all started out as 3 Devils fans at a bar. Look what it is now. Big Steve Engel, let me answer your question. Just go to NewJerseyDevils.com/app, read the instructions, and if you can't figure it out, Big Steve Engel, I don't know what to tell you. See you after the game. This is Game Day Live.